Welcome to a lesson on Twitter here on educator.com. This is Jim, continuing your education on e-marketing, and Twitter is a major force in e-marketing. Let's dive right in and look at the lesson overview. And you see right here immediately you've got three different graphics. This is the current Twitter icon. Of course, they've been through several revisions. This icon here is what most people put on their websites. Okay, so I'll go ahead and type websites. And this is the main Twitter icon right now. And this is kind of an unused one, but I like it better. But this is the Twitter logo that you see all over the place. It's pretty well branded. Familiar graphics, if you will. So in this lesson, we're going to go over what is Twitter and why it's important, and end up with how to create and maintain or manage an account. So let's go ahead, and we're going to be kind of shifting between slides and a browser. So just bear with me, and by the end of this lesson you'll get a clear view of what a Twitter is. And first and foremost, I encourage you to go to twitter.com and create a Twitter account. So if you need to pause the video right now, please do so. It's pretty basic. You know, going into twitter.com and signing up. They only ask for a few things, and we'll go over the rest. Okay? So, if for those of you want to continue on, let's do so. So why Twitter? Why the big T? Why tweet? Why use this? Well, very simple. And there's a mistake here. It's not 500 active user. It's 500 million active users on Twitter, making it the second most popular social media website in the world outside of Facebook. Another nice thing about Twittering is that, well, it allows you to microblog. And microblog pretty much means you can send messages up to 140 characters. Now, microblogging is another nice name for tweets. And with microblogs, you can pretty much tell what people are doing, what you're doing at the moment. And everything is real time. So it's almost like a chat room. Now with Facebook, which is a little bit more complicated than Twitter, Facebook, you write a message, you send it out for the world to see, and well, basically I will receive the message when I log in to Facebook. With Twitter, I can get it real time using my mobile device and respond pretty much right away. So it's real time, it's fast, it's right off the bat if I use my mobile device and allow for notifications, depending on what the settings I use. Another nice thing about Twitter is that it converts large URLs. You can actually link your blogs, your websites, your articles, any kind of website that you want to communicate into what is known as tiny URLs. Okay, this is an example of a tiny URL. This is a YouTube video that we're going to show you in a minute or so, but the actual video is much longer. It's almost like 30 to 40 characters long. So what Twitter does is that it compresses that long web address or URL into, well, only 140 characters, or as small as possible. And so it's easier to remember, so it can fit in your tweets. Okay, so that's really nice. You click on it, and it'll reroute you to the exact destination you want your visitors to go to. Of course, the biggest and the most important feature about Twitter is that it allows you to follow people, and they can follow you. Yeah, and let's talk a little about who uses Twitter. Well, obviously celebrities use it. You know, we can talk about all the different important people, whether it's politicians, movie stars, actors, musicians, people you want to know. So there are celebrities who talk about themselves crossing the street or going shopping, or you know, they're in the studio recording, doing whatever they may be. Politicians may say, oh, well, I'm on the bus touring America. Okay, but it's not just limited to that. It could be also used for business, okay, especially in the restaurant business, you may want to tweet people and say, hey, we've got happy hour coming in a couple hours. Or, hey, happy hour's Friday from 4 to 6 o'clock, half off beers. Sound good to me. Or you may want to announce something like, different information. We've got new deals. We've got new offers. We got something. But tweeting is really nice because it offers real-time information instantaneously. So let's go on to the next slide rather. Now, if you haven't created an account, please do so. It's pretty easy. Now, this is July 2012. This is what the page looks like at that point. It might be a different kind of a website when you log in, but the login process is pretty much the same as it always been. If you've already have an account, just go ahead and sign in with the username or password, or if your username is an email, you type that in. And if you're new to Twitter, they'll want your full name, your email, and a password, whatever is convenient for you. And when you do log in, you'll go to a page similar to this. Obviously, this is the educator.com Twitter profile. And as you can see, that it's lists all the different tweets that educator.com shows. And we're going to go live to a browser. Now, the web address for Educator is actually twitter.com/educator. This little, these two symbols are added after you've logged in, so you don't have to worry about that. So the actual website is twitter.com/educator. Okay, so go ahead and create your account or log into twitter.com and Educator, and well, we'll show you exactly what to do the rest here as we go into a browser. Now, I found this really cool video that'll explain Twitter in plain English. And as you can see, I've already mentioned this in a previous slide. Okay, in one of these slides right here. Oops, let's go back to the browser. Okay, Twitter in plain English. So let's go ahead and play this. And we're going to play this. It's going to be about 2 minutes, but it'll explain everything in detail about Twitter. So go ahead and sit back and enjoy it, and I'll try to talk over it to explain better about Twitter.
So, what are you doing? It's one of the first questions we often ask friends and family. Even if the answer is just mowing the lawn or cooking dinner, it's interesting to us. It makes us feel connected and a part of each other's lives. Unfortunately, most of our day-to-day lives are hidden from people that care. Of course, we have email and blogs and phones to keep us connected, but you wouldn't send an email to a friend to tell them you're having coffee. Your friend doesn't need to know that. But what about people that want to know about the little things that happen in your life? Real life happens between blog posts and emails. And now there's a way to share. This is Twitter in plain English. Thanks to Twitter, it's possible to share short, bite-sized updates about your life and follow the updates of people that matter to you via the web. Here's how it works. Meet Carla. She's addicted to her mobile phone, reads blogs every day, and has contacts all over the world. She heard about Twitter and was skeptical. After some of her friends couldn't stop talking about it, she gave it a try. She signed up for free and saw that Twitter pages look a little like blogs, with very short posts. Each page is personal and has updates from friends. She got started by looking up her friends on twitter.com. After finding a few, she clicked follow to start seeing their updates on her Twitter page. Within hours, she began to see a different side of people she chose to follow. She didn't know that Stephen in Seattle was a baseball fan, or that Julia in London was reading a new investment book. The little messages from Twitter painted a picture of her friends, family, and coworkers that she'd never seen before. It was the real world. Soon, she became a fan of Twitter and posted updates every day. Her friends followed her updates and learned that she recently discovered a passion for Van Halen. They could see Carla's life between blog posts and emails. For Carla, Twitter worked because it was simple. The updates were always short, under 140 characters. Plus, she could post updates and follow her friends using the Twitter website, software on her browser, a mobile phone, or instant messages. By asking members to answer the question, "What are you doing?" Carla found that Twitter brought her closer to people that matter to her, 140 characters at a time. Find out what your friends are doing at twitter.com.
Okay, so Twitter.com. So once you've logged in, let's go to Twitter.com. And this is my personal Twitter page. If you want to follow me, you can go to WebTips TV. Or if you want to follow Educator.com, go to Educator. So let's look at this page in detail. Starting from the very upper left, of course, I'm at the home page. Going down, it'll tell me how many tweets I have, and I'm going to go ahead and increase the size of this page a little bit. So it tells me how many tweets I have, and if I click here, these are all the tweets or the microblogs that I have set up, or actually I communicated. Notice that I just explained very short, succinct kind of things to people, from people. Here is an example of a tiny URL, so obviously, which appears right below a larger URL, okay? And right here, again, I just kind of tweet whatever I want. Then, let's go back to, well, here's the people who I'm following. Okay, these are some of my people that I'm following, and I'm going to go ahead and move it to the right. And at any time, I can unfollow them. Okay, if I just roll the mouse over and I can unfollow them. And when I click here, I can go ahead and remove from lists or block or turn off, or kind of gives me a lot more control over who I'm doing what. Then right here are the people who are following me. Okay, not too many. I hope to increase. I've only got a few of them. But now, just because people follow you or you follow them doesn't mean it's an exchange here. Okay, it's not like Facebook where you have to be friends. I mean, they have to friend you, you have to friend them. That's not the case with Twitter. Just because you're following someone doesn't mean that they will in turn follow you back. So with that said, for instance, I've got this guy right here who I'm going to unfollow, but then I'm going to follow her. Okay, so these are the people who are following me. Okay, and thankfully they are. Okay, so hopefully that number again will grow as time goes on. And then, of course, I may have my favorites. Okay, now people who I want to get instant control of, or send instant messages. It could be a family or friend that I can tweet right off the bat. Okay, so in this case, I can go ahead and, like again, I can move over the expand key, and I can also unlist them as a favorite. And now I have no favorites. So sorry for the person that I've unfavored. And then I put on list, and I can basically take the people who are following me and put them in a list. So I can just press create list, and then I could, I can add different people's names, and I can find users. Okay, so I don't know, let's go ahead and find someone. Okay, if they exist even, and if they don't exist, I can put follow, and they'll be added to my list of people. Let's go back to the home page and go over more. Now, if I wanted to tweet, I can either enter it here, or on the upper right, actually, I have to shrink this page a little bit. I can press this icon right here. Okay, and there it is. I can put in a message there. Hello world. And I can go ahead and tweet if I want. Okay, and it'll appear as on my tweets. I'll show you in a second here. There it is. Hello world. It appears. Kind of silly, but it's a lot of fun. Now, I can go ahead and control my account by pressing this little icon in the upper right and select settings. And it's pretty self-explanatory. I could select my username, and you want to carefully choose your username. Now, a username doesn't necessarily have to be a full business name, especially if your business is rather large. You can use abbreviations, or you can use the first letters, because it may appear as a username, but at the same time, it doesn't necessarily appear as your name. Okay, so right here is a name. Okay, I'll go ahead and increase. Okay, notice that the name is one thing, but the username is quite different. The username is more for you, okay, for login purposes. But let's go ahead and move down the list. Of course, we can choose whichever language, and Twitter being around the world, you can definitely select what kind of language you have. Password, okay, pretty self-explanatory. Now the mobile device, that's what Twitter was pretty much used for. You can go ahead and receive notifications on your mobile smartphone device, iPhone, Droid, whatever else at your time. Back in 2012, we're still using cell phones. I don't know what year you're in, but you might have no use for cell phones. They may be all smartphones, okay, or the iPad. And you can also control your notifications, how you receive it, what you receive, from messages to activities and updates. You can control your profile. You can add a nice little image of yourself or a company image. Now here is what I was talking about, username as opposed to name. This is what will appear on your Twitter page, not necessarily your username. Okay, and you can go ahead and enter your location, your website. And here we're going to talk about in the next lesson about connecting to your Facebook account. So we'll talk about that at a later time. Then you can control the design of your page. Okay, so these are all pretty self-explanatory. Here they give you several templates, nice little templates. I mean, there's only a handful of them I can see. Looks like there's only 19 of them from what I'm seeing here. But you're not committed to that. You can actually use your own image, your own background image. You want a nice graphic designer to go ahead and design something for you, or you can do it yourself. Okay, we offer a lot of classes here on Educator that will show you how to do that. And apps, I wouldn't pay attention too much to this. Pretty much it's whatever that you communicate on educator.com will also be communicated. We are going to go over Pinterest at a later lesson. And with that in mind, we'll go ahead and go back to the home page. And I encourage you to play around with this. Okay, I mean, really, it's a very powerful tool. Again, almost half of 500 million users, so you can't really go wrong. Now, if I want to search for people, I can enter the search right here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and increase the size, and I will go ahead and type in educator.com. Let's see what happens. So what it does is the search will display every account, Twitter account, that has educator.com in its keywords, or something within their account that has mentioned educator.com. Of course, we're only concerned about the educator.com that we know. So here is a logo for Educator, and I will gladly follow them. Now I'm following them, and I will set no restrictions. Whatever they send my way, I'm sure is very useful. All right, so when you first go to the home page, you will notice that you have several tweets here from very popular websites, the Huffington Post, Major League Baseball. Now, these aren't necessarily people that I'm following or following me. These are just random news feeds that Twitter puts up. I'm not following. In fact, I don't see anything here that I'm following. So I'm just basically, like Gordon Brown. For those of you who don't know him, he was I guess he was one of the parliaments of London. I don't know. Wired magazine, I don't really follow them. The Huffington Post, I don't follow them. Major League Baseball, I don't even know who Monica Pedresin is. Anyways, it just kind of gives you daily feeds whenever and however you get them. And then you can go ahead and press on the connect key, and you can view the people who are connected with you. As you can see, it kind of lists the people that are following you, and basically you can look at them, and you can decide it'll give you status that you are following them, and you can unfollow them. I'll keep Susan, no problem. And then discover, you can click on discover, and it'll tell you different stories. Okay, so this Twitter also becomes an official news feed. Going back to the home page, if you want to log out, all you got to do is sign out. And that pretty much does it. Twitter, just like Facebook and anything else, the more you play with it, the better you get at it. On the next lesson, we're going to teach you how to spread Twitter, add it to your website, add it to your Facebook account. So stay tuned for that. This is Jim on educator.com, lessons on e-marketing.